What's going on, everybody? We have shifted gears here on the kayak charter. It is clearly winter here in Panama City, Florida, and that is a-okay with me because winter trout fishing is absolutely one of my favorites. And although, yes, we do them on the charter, and yes, I have my famous trout spots, I want to give you guys a couple tips to help you catch more trout, because if you're not, a full-time fisherman, if you're not totally plugged in, if you haven't been fishing for a really long time, you might not be super familiar with the patterns. But when it comes to speckled trout, they are a ton of fun to catch, but they are different in the winter. Now, what I'm looking for all winter long, there's a bunch of different spots, but what I am looking for, like last video when we plucked up about 30 fish that video in only an hour or two with my wife. In fact, heading to a new spot right now. I left my rod at the ramp. I had to drive like 10 minutes back to the opening of the bayou, and my wife, she's actually already smoking trout. She's texting me while I'm dealing with my rod. But the point is go find yourself a bayou. Find yourself a canal. Somewhere where there is a lot of wind protection. Somewhere where there is dark, shallow, muddy, or grassy bottom. So let's say right now we're in pretty deep of water. But where we're about to go, I'll show you, it gets pretty wind protected. It's pretty far back up into the bayou, and it's about 1.5 feet deep, but it's white sand. That's just not going to hold as much temperature. You see, in the winter, although it might not be that cold to us, obviously I'm a Floridian, I am freezing right now, and it's only 50 degrees outside, but the wind's pretty nice. Listen, they're thinking about, where do I get warm? So we have to think, where is the water the warmest? Okay, it's going to be in the back of bayous. There's very little moving water back there, not a lot of fresh, cold, moving water. Right now, we're still going to have some moving water. Moving water is always good. Don't rule that out. But in the very backs, where it gets shallow, the water gets really stained, and the bottom is really dark. So if the water's really clear, not the end of the world, but as long as there's just nothing but mud and grass and darkness, and I'm looking anywhere from 1 foot to 5-6 foot of water. So there's so many different spots in Panama City, Florida. So many different spots that are tucked away, wind protected, really dirty, dark bottoms. And that is exactly what we are looking for. Now, of course, we do it in the kayaks, but if you follow my main channel with over 50,000 subscribers, that channel, we fish off tiny boats. The same principles apply. If you're in a big boat, just use a trolling motor. If you're in a kayak, use a kayak, even better. But the water is usually going to be calm. And at least here, just because you have no visibility and the bottom is dark, doesn't mean that you're not going to spook fish. You see, the water is still clear. It just might look stained because it's really dirty. Right now, we're starting to get into some dirtier bottom. But that darker water, that dark bottom, nice and shallow, with not much wind cooling it down, it's going to retain a lot more heat. And that's what we're looking for. We're looking for heat retention. Where is it going to be? If it's out in the middle of the bay where it's crystal clear and it's, I'm not saying trout don't like to go deep. They like to go deep in the winter. But if you're looking for just easy access spots all across the panhandle, find yourself shallow bottom mud holes. Now, what is the best way to do that? If you have any sort of satellite software, obviously that is going to be the ticket. Of course, I'm a Salt Strong fishing coach. I'm on the part of the Salt Strong influencer team, and I always love, I always love Salt Strong, but it is a paid platform, very well so. You can literally sign up using the link in my description, get 28 days free, and then they have the smart spots. It's an AI algorithm that actually shows you where to go catch fish. But that algorithm, although it has some of the dark bottom mud holes, I don't even use those spots, obviously. It's really for people who just are just getting into it and just want to go flat out catch fish. But I'm telling you, dude, even on Google Maps, you open it up and you can search around. Now, the reason I like the Salt Strong, I'm not going to stay on it too long because I know most of you aren't going to go buy it or sign up for the free trial. It doesn't matter. But the point is that there's contour lines. And there's other software out there that you can do it. It's usually paid, though. But there's contour lines, basically meaning you can see where there's drop-offs, there's holes. You can see how deep it is. Even if the water is stained and dirty, doesn't matter. If the water isn't clear and you can't see the bottom, doesn't matter. The contour lines show you how deep it is. And there's 3 different satellite imaging. You have Google Earth, you have Bing, and then you have the high res, and you can kind of go through different satellite software. So open up some satellite software, open up Bing, open up Google Earth, and anything else you can find, so that way you get different imagery, and then you can start scooting around the city, looking in the backs of bayous where it really, real shallow, gets way back up in there. We've been traveling for almost 5 minutes, and I'm about halfway to my spot here. I don't know if you can see on my map. I mean, it takes me about 15 minutes to get back here, and I'm going about 4 miles an hour in the kayak. But the point is you want it to be really shallow, protected, dark. Now, here's another thing. When you get to these spots, these winter fish like this warm spot so much. You see, like right now, crystal clear. It's shallow. It's totally protected. I'm totally protected right now. Nice and shallow. But the problem is that it's not dark. It's clear and it's a little bit too shallow. There's not enough variety here. So that's not really what we're looking for. So you just got to ask yourself, where is it going to be warm? And it's so easy. You can find so many spots right now just sitting on the satellite imaging software. Now, of course, if you book a charter with me, I will give you the spots. Of course, when you come with me, I tell you exactly how to replicate everything we do on all of the charters. In fact, a lot of my clients, they follow up. You know, I had one guy, shout out to Gary Dennis, man. He got skunked, went on the charter with me. He was here on a vacation fish every single day and slaying redfish, slaying trout, flounder, just smoking them. And that's what I love about this charter. I can pass on the information to you. But if you just want to go out on your own, find yourself some shallow mud holes that are protected. But when you get in there, there should be a lot of bait. You should see birds. You should see wakes. You should see bait popping. You should see a lot going on. Because when I get into a spot and I don't see chaos because all these fish are warming up here, I know I'm not in the right spot. And my wife, like I said, she's all right, we're finally back. She's in the very back of this bayou, and she's been slaying trout. So, there she is. There she is. She's standing up on spot lock. But here we are. This is the spot that we're looking for. Very back of the bayou. I don't know if you can see on my map here. This is the very back of this bayou. Totally protected, and we're about to transition from crystal clear to really, really dark. So we'll sit here, and I'm going to show you. And it's going to get deeper. We're about 1.5 feet right now. Crystal clear, light bottom. Nice and easy. And then we're about to transition into dark, stained, dirty water. And that's exactly what these fish are looking for. Totally wind protected. More comfortable for the fish, more comfortable for me and my wife. We're going to get a little deeper. And it's going to get, I mean, when we were at the boat ramp, we had probably 10 foot of visibility, not even joking. Really, really clear. Now we are in 2 foot of water and we're losing visibility fast. And at this point, we're in about 2.5. Starting to get real muddy, real grassy. No visibility. 2.5 foot, total mud, total grass, no visibility. That's what we're looking for. Anyway, this is it. This is the very back of the bayou. Totally stained water. You know, like I said, 10 visibility of the boat ramp, and that's just because it is so dirty. Anyway, I hope this helps you find some spots. We're in this beautiful bayou. Come book a charter with me if you want all the secrets, all the lures, all the retrieves. And I'm gonna leave you with this. Downsize your retrieve and go slow. Small and steady wins the winter trout bite. And flounder and redfish, they're all gonna be in here because we've caught them all. All right, I'm gonna fish. See you next time.